Listen up, fellow Stoics. Ever found yourself drowning in a sea of requests, your calendar bursting at the seams, but feeling like none of that time is actually for you? You're nodding along, aren't you? We're so busy saying yes to feel helpful and kind that we end up feeling drained, resentful, and living a life on everyone else's terms. The stress quietly eats away at our peace. But what if I told you there's a way to set firm boundaries, not out of selfishness, but as an act of profound self-respect? Ironic, isn't it, that some brilliant chaps from ancient times, the Stoics, mastered a guilt-free framework for saying no and reclaiming your life. Today, we're diving into that very art, so stick around. And if you're seeking more wisdom to navigate our frantic modern existence, go on and smack that subscribe button. What's the worst that could happen? You gain some wisdom. I dare you even to take that step. Now, shall we dive in? All right, our first principle is the very bedrock of it all. Own your mind, own your no. You're swamped at work, deep in focus. An email pings. It's a last-minute request from a colleague for a project that, let's be honest, isn't your responsibility. Your gut reaction, a wave of dread. But then comes the second wave, guilt. You think, I should really help, or what will they think of me if I say no? This is where those brilliant chaps from ancient Rome would tell us to pause. The philosopher King Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This isn't just a feel-good quote to stick on your fridge. It's a radical command for inner freedom. The request itself is an outside event, beyond your control. Your reaction to it, that's entirely your domain. The stress and guilt don't come from the email, but from your judgment of it. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control, a simple yet life-altering practice of separating what you can control from what you can't. You can't control others' expectations, but you can control your thoughts, judgments, and actions. Your no is one of those actions. Dare you even consider it an act of profound self-mastery? When you decline that project, you aren't rejecting your colleague, you're affirming your own priorities. Your concrete action, a polite, firm, and simple reply. "Thank you for thinking of me for this, but I'm unable to take this on right now as my focus is committed to my current priorities." No long-winded excuse, no over-the-top apology. You're simply embodying the principle that your mind, your time, and your no belong to you. That brings us to our second principle, a crucial piece of Stoic architecture for your soul. Guard your inner fortress. Imagine your mind is a citadel. Inside its walls are your peace, your values, your well-being. Every day, people show up at the gates with requests. Some are allies, bringing opportunities that align with your purpose, but others are Trojan horses, seemingly harmless requests that, once inside, wreak havoc on your time and energy. The Stoic philosopher Seneca offered this potent advice: associate with those who will make a better man of you. While he's talking about the company we keep, the wisdom extends to the requests we accept. We have to be vigilant gatekeepers for our own minds. Saying no isn't about building a giant wall to keep everyone out. It's about being discerning about who and what you let inside. Your fortress is your capacity for reason, your core values, your goals. When a request comes in, the Stoic gatekeeper doesn't just swing the gates open. They ask, does this serve the kingdom within? Does this align with my values? Or does it distract me from my purpose? Think about a common one. Constant family favors. You love them, but the small requests add up, leaving you with no energy for yourself. The yes in this case is a betrayal of your own well-being. Guarding your inner fortress means recognizing that your peace and energy are precious, not endlessly renewable. The application here is to say no, not as a rejection, but as an act of self-preservation. You could say, I love spending time with the kids, but I can't commit to every weekend. I can, however, be there on the first Saturday of the month. I need the other weekends to rest and work on my projects. This isn't selfish, it's virtuous. It's knowing that to be good for others, you must first be a good guardian of your own inner peace. Our third principle cuts right to the heart of the matter, tapping into a virtue the Stoics held in the highest esteem. The principle is this: clarity is courage. Think of all those social invitations piling up. You're exhausted. You crave a quiet evening to read, think, or just be. But as you hover over the decline button, that familiar guilt creeps in. This hesitation is where courage comes in. Epictetus, a slave who became one of the most brilliant chaps in Stoic philosophy, taught that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The invitation is just an event. Your reaction, your interpretation of what it means to decline, is what causes the turmoil. Saying no is an act of courage because it often means going against social expectations. The courage the Stoics talk about isn't just for the battlefield. It's moral courage, the strength to do what is rational and right, even when it's tough. When you lack clarity on your priorities, you're adrift in a sea of shoulds. But when you're clear about what you need, rest, focus, solitude, you have a firm ground to stand on. Dare you even to spend some time alone and ask yourself, what is essential for my peace of mind right now? Once you have that clarity, you have your reason, and a reason provides the courage to say no. The application is to ground your no in this clarity. You can say, "Thank you so much for the invitation. I won't be able to make it, but I hope you have a wonderful time." That's it. You are not obligated to provide a detailed explanation. Your no is a quiet declaration that you are the ultimate authority on how your time and energy are spent. If you're finding this journey into Stoic wisdom valuable and you're feeling a bit more empowered to reclaim your time, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. We explore practical philosophy like this every week to help you live a stronger, more tranquil life. Now, we arrive at a beautiful paradox, one that lies at the heart of Stoic thinking. Our fourth principle is say no to say yes. Many of us believe that saying yes to everything makes us more productive and liked. We take the extra project, join another committee, help a friend move on our only day off. Our plate is overflowing, but we think a full plate is a sign of a full life. The Stoics would argue it's a sign of a distracted one. Truth is, every time you say yes to something, you are by necessity saying no to something else. A yes to that extra project is a no to being present with your family. A yes to the committee is a no to the hour you could have spent on your health or a passion project. Time and energy are finite. We can only allocate them with wisdom. Marcus Aurelius put it with his typical, piercing simplicity. If it is not right, do not do it. For a Stoic, right means aligned with your highest purpose. Saying no isn't a negative act. It's the strategic move that allows you to say a deep, powerful yes to the things that truly matter. Think of a master craftsman. Does she take on every commission? No, she says no to projects that don't align with her vision. This allows her to pour all her energy into the few she accepts, creating works of excellence. Your life is your great work of art. Your no is the tool that carves away the non-essential. Let's apply this. Someone asks you to take on extra shifts. The immediate yes is tempting, but the Stoic pauses and asks, what am I saying no to if I say yes to this? Perhaps it's no to writing that book you've dreamed of, or no to time with your kids. Your concrete action is to say, I appreciate the offer for extra hours, but I'm protecting my evenings to dedicate them to my family and personal development. It's the disciplined refusal of the good in favor of the best. Let's move to our fifth principle, which elevates the humble boundary to a pillar of philosophical practice. The principle is, boundaries are virtue. We often see boundaries as defensive walls, but for the Stoics, they are an active expression of the four cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Consider the friend who calls late at night to vent, oblivious to your need for rest. You feel you must answer or you'd be unkind. But the Roman philosopher Seneca cuts through this thinking. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. If you're always available to everyone, you are truly available to no one, least of all yourself. Let's break this down. Temperance, self-control. By not answering calls after 10 p.m., you exercise moderation and manage your energy with discipline. Courage. It takes courage to communicate this boundary and risk their disappointment for the sake of what is reasonable. Justice. This is the most misunderstood. Is it just to deny a friend? The Stoics would say justice is about giving each their due, and that includes yourself. You owe yourself rest. Wisdom. This is the master virtue. It's the wisdom to see that your inner peace is a good to be protected. A boundary, therefore, isn't a wall. It's a carefully drawn line that allows you to live a virtuous life. You define it with reason. For my well-being, I will not engage in draining conversations late at night. Then you communicate it with gentle firmness. I care about you and want to be there for you. I've realized I need to protect my evenings to get enough rest, so I'll be turning my phone off after 10 p.m. I'm always available for a chat earlier in the day. This isn't an ultimatum. It's you embodying the principles of a good life. Our next principle confronts the biggest obstacle for most of us, that emotional ghost that haunts our every no. This principle is no guilt, only wisdom. Imagine the scene. You've just said no to a request. You know it was the right decision, but a storm of guilt washes over you. You start second-guessing yourself, imagining their disappointment. This is the poison that coerces us into a life of reluctant yeses. The brilliant chap Epictetus gave us the antidote. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. This is key. Guilt often comes from feeling we need to justify our no until the other person approves. But a Stoic no doesn't require external validation. It's based on your internal wisdom. You've already done the work. The decision is made. When you feel guilt, you're outsourcing your self-worth to their reaction, something totally outside your control. Dare you even to try this? The next time you say no and guilt rises, remind yourself, my decision was based on wisdom. Their reaction is their own. I am responsible only for the integrity of my choices. The concrete example is in the delivery. Your no is simple and clean. To a friend asking for a loan you can't prudently give, you say, I'm sorry, but I'm not in a position to help with that. If they push, you calmly repeat your position. You aren't explaining, you are embodying your decision. The goal is to replace the hot, messy emotion of guilt with the cool, clear-headed confidence of wisdom. We've reached our final and perhaps most crucial principle. It's the guiding star for every decision. Long-term serenity over short-term approval. We're hardwired to seek approval. Saying yes gives us a quick hit of it. Saying no risks a moment of friction or disapproval. So our brains, seeking to avoid short-term pain, push us to say yes, even when it leads to long-term stress. We are trading our future peace for a fleeting moment of approval. This is a terrible bargain. Marcus Aurelius offers a powerful perspective. He wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." In this context, our enemy is our own impulsive, approval-seeking nature. The best revenge is to be unlike it, to be the person who can withstand a moment of discomfort for a lifetime of inner peace. Every choice to say no, based on your values, is a vote for your long-term serenity. When faced with the request, ask not, how will they feel if I say no right now, but rather, how will I feel in a week, a month, or a year if I say yes? Will I be drained and resentful, or empowered and focused? This long-term view is the Stoic's secret weapon. Before answering any significant request, pause, breathe, Consider the long-term consequences. When offered a high-stress project, the short-term approval is tempting, but a long-term analysis might reveal it would lead to burnout. Armed with this foresight, you might say, "Thank you for this opportunity. After careful consideration of my long-term well-being, I have to decline. I believe someone else can give this the full energy it deserves." You are choosing serenity. You are choosing the person you want to be over the approval you think you need right now. Well, my delightful virtual companions, there you have it. 7 Stoic principles to master the art of saying no. We've learned to own our mind, to guard our inner fortress, and that clarity is courage. We've seen that we must say no to say yes, that boundaries are virtue, that we can replace guilt with wisdom, and finally, that we must choose long-term serenity over short-term approval. Just goes to show, some truths are truly timeless, eh? Now, I've got a cheeky little challenge for you all. In the comments below, I dare you to say no to one small, non-essential thing this week. Tell us how it felt. What boundary did you set? What did you say yes to by saying no? Let's get this conversation started so we can learn from each other. And before you dive headfirst back into the world, armed with this newfound Stoic wisdom, if you found even a smidgen of enlightenment today, do consider giving this video a big thumbs up and ringing that notification bell. Not for the sake of vanity metrics, oh no, but so we can continue this dance of wisdom, sharing, and growth. Here's to mastering the art of saying no and living with intention and gusto. Until our next digital rendezvous, keep the fire of curiosity burning and the spirit of Stoicism alive.